Oh, the excitement.
Wow.
Whew, with second despair. Whew. Sorry, I was up getting a pen that was jammed in the window track out so we could shut the window against the small children below playing the xylophone and screaming on the lawnmowers and the
Yeah, we're all shut in.
general hubbub.
We're shut in now.
Now we're closed in. It's
and
hot.
I actually had to unplug that fan because I needed to plug in my recording device. Sorry. I said sorry.
There are more outlets.
Let's just forget it.
I
don't like fans. I hate fans.
I can plug that in for you. Hate fans?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
What about the handheld ones that you manually?
Those are okay.
Like the little Japanese fans.
Those are nice. Yeah. Hey,
You seem like a Japanese fan kind of girl.
thanks.
Yep.
Did you happen to notice that I did not wear 2 t-shirts? I just wore one today.
Well, since I haven't looked underneath your t-shirt, I didn't realize that, but
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. This
Thanks.
is a step.
I my hand was reaching for the second t-shirt, so I could. I just feel safer with layers. It's a layer.
What are 2
thing.
t-shirts going to do for you? Like that doesn't look any different than 2 t-shirts. It's just
Well, then
cooler.
what difference does it make if I have
because you're going to
two?
be hot and you're wasting a lot of laundry.
But I'm used to being hot because I'm a gardener, so I'm always out in the sun. I'm always hot, so I just get used to it.
I say go with this one t-shirt thing. It looks good, and that's generally what the rest of the world does. So probably safe with it.
All right, okay.
I only have one petticoat on.
Well, there you have it. You set the standard. You set the fashion trend for Tunbridge.
I'm really unhappy with the apron I'm wearing today, though, because I feel like a nurse or a maid. I don't usually wear such a white, starchy apron with my costume, but
It's very cool on every level. It looks, because it's white, it looks cool.
it's not. There's a lot of layers here. Speaking of layers, there's the bloomers, and then the petticoat, and the stockings. And I only have one petticoat, and I'm not wearing a chemise today or anything.
A what?
A chemise, like the
What's that?
undergarment of the Victorian costume.
Why?
It's like a slip, basically.
Why did you skip that?
Because it's too hot.
You shouldn't skip it.
Nobody knows. It's not like my customers at the museum undress me to see how authentic I am.
But it's important to have all the undergarments that go with the time period.
Not when you're like, unclogging toilets and stuff too. So it's too hot. It's too hot for that business.
Oh, bother. It's
The septic system at work is about to fail again. It's coming. I know it.
Great.
It fails like 17 times a summer.
You know what? It's
What?
It's just really good to have things to look forward to.
I do. It's just so exciting have feces flooding the floor, and have the only plumber that the state contracts to do our plumbing up in Burlington, so it takes him like days to come to us.
Really? I know some plumbers.
Well, no, I know plumbers too. I know plumbers like right next door, but since my museum is a state historic site, they have to bid out all of their contracts to different plumbers, electricians, carpenters, things like that. And they have to go with certain ones. And so that does not mean that the contractors they go with are local. Which is stupid and I think inefficient. When we have an electrical emergency or something like that, I have to wait for somebody to come from way up near the Canadian border to get to me. That's dumb.
Well, I just think that John should be the governor.
My John?
Yeah.
Oh. He said he will be, but not right now. Not when the kids are little. We have too much to do. We wouldn't be able to raise the kids properly if he was a governor.
All right. But I expect it at a certain point because some of these things just have to change.
Yeah, and he almost thought about running for some stuff this year, but we talked about it, and the kids are just too little. We've got Little League and soccer. And
he's on the select board, so that's kind of a lot.
It is already a lot.
Yeah. So I got this cabbage. I got this huge cabbage. And I looked at it in the fridge today, and I just... Now I regret what I did. I regret that I bought it.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Cabbages
it's kind of
are no joke.
It's really feeling like a burden to have that huge cabbage that now I have to do something with it.
Can you make coleslaw and...
maybe I could.
Coleslaw is a nice summer dish.
You want to know why I got it? It's not that it really appealed to me. It's just I was trying to find something sort of green-ish at the food store. I was trying to find something that was vaguely in the green category.
Yeah.
And that was really the only thing that was there besides stuff that was not organic. So I had to go with the only thing that was organic, which was this huge... And I tried to find the smallest one, but still it was like the size of a basketball.
So you bought it for no actual reason other than you were forcing yourself to buy.
I felt like I had to take something home that was healthy.
Huh. I don't feel that way very often.
You don't do that? You don't do that.
Well, sometimes I do feel like I'm being judged by the cashiers, depending on where I shop. If I'm in a big chain food store, Shaw's or whatever, the cashiers are 16. They're chewing gum. They're not even looking. You can put, condoms and cat food and all kinds of stuff down, and they don't bat an eye. But if you're at the co-op, the judgy Judgerson hippie people look at you if you're buying, Reese's Pieces or something. Wait,
did you say judgy Judgerson?
Yeah.
I never heard that before. Is that a thing?
This is Kendra's fault. She does it. She adds that to everything.
Judgy Judgerson.
No, she says, I'm trying to think of a better example. Kendra, are you listening? Tell us an example.
We can't even get her to host the show. She's probably
where
not
is
listening.
That girl? Bossy Bosserson. Like you just add it to. It's like a.
I see. I love that.
You add it to. I don't know how to explain her method there.
No, I get it. It's like
Jerky Jerkerson.
It's like what's that game that you play when you're a kid? Heffalump. What is it? Not Heffalump. It's when
you talking about Pig Latin.
Yeah.
Heffalump?
That's all I could think of.
What?
That's what I could think of.
Kristina.
I didn't have access to my full memory.
You've been hitting the Citizen Cider a little too hard over there.
I've had quite a week. Just don't hassle me.
That's true. I know. It's hard to not hassle you, though. That's
God.
what I do.
Can I just say one thing?
Okay.
Totes. 10 years from now,
whatevs,
they're not going to know what that means, totes. But let's say it now.
What about adorbs?
Let's make hay with all these words while they still make sense.
What is wrong with everyone? Are we so lazy? WTF? OMG. We can't even say whole words anymore.
But it just supposed to relax you.
Totes adorbs. It's like its own Pig Latin.
Yeah.
Is Pig Latin somehow offensive in some way?
To pigs?
No, there must be some way that it's offensive to someone. Just the name. I don't know. Pig,
Latin to Italians?
Are we offending Latin people? It's not Latin.
Well, I don't know. I didn't think about it this week. I didn't speak any.
How come Latinos don't speak Latin?
Oh, stop.
No, that is
Stop
legit question.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Why?
No, it's not.
Words should match
No, it's not.
what they come from.
Let's have an argument.
How about we introduce the show? Because we didn't do that either.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
You guys have so fortunately tuned into 11th Hour Radio with Kristina, Stykos, and Emily Howe. We come to you live every Friday, except for when we don't, because sometimes we're doing other stuff. On Royalton Community Radio. And we have cool underwriters and sponsors. They are the Tunbridge Grease Collective, Mountain Folk, and Howvale Farms. And what else am I supposed to say? WFER LP 96.5.
Mountain folk.
I said Mountain Folk, I think.
Say it again.
Mountain Folk.
Thank
Mountain Folk,
you.
Mountain Folk, Mountain Folk. Did you do that thing when you were a kid where you look in a mirror and you say some word from some horror movie 3 times and then something's supposed to come get you? Oh, Bloody Mary. That's what it is. If you say Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror at midnight, like something comes out of the mirror and kills you.
No, I never did that. But what I did do is I would take a word and say it a lot until
it's ridiculous.
Well, like spatula, for example.
Well, that just is ridiculous.
Okay, well, how about zucchini? That's kind
It's
of...
totally silly.
Yeah, totes.
Zook.
Let's see how many times we can say totes. Maybe we could substitute totes for actually, which I said the first sentence I said on the show.
You're being like so hipster. I can't even deal.
I've been hanging out with hipsters this week. I have. A couple.
You have. You've had all musician-y hipster people in your...
And then we had pictures to document how cool it was.
I know. I didn't know you guys knew Mark.
That? Well,
Where'd you find him?
I didn't know Mark.
Oh.
I didn't know Mark from a hole in the wall. Now I do. Now I know he's quite different than a hole anywhere, any kind of hole. But no, he wanted to help out our Kickstarter campaign for Ariel's album.
Oh,
so
nice.
he offered to do some photography.
It's a good photographer.
But here's what was kind of embarrassing.
What?
You know how on Facebook his name is Durwood?
Yeah, it's not really, though. It's Mark.
But I didn't know that, so I kept calling him Durwood because I thought I was, I thought it sounded funny, but I just thought that's his name.
No one's name is really Durwood.
It sounds kind of like you're rich or you're stuck up.
Really? I think it sounds like you're a comic book character. Oh, that's Dagwood.
Yeah, no, Durwood sounds like you're like got a silver spoon in your mouth a little bit, but it's a cool name. I looked it up and you know what it means? It means
wood. Durwood.
It means it has a derivation that's deeper. It has a deeper meaning, which is gatekeeper. So that's cool. So I was wrong about that, but
why would that mean gatekeeper? Is it
well,
Latin?
Going into the woods, I think it's Old English. Like imagine this forest with these huge oak trees that have a girth of maybe 6 feet.
What?
I don't know why these things come to me. I said the word girth. Say that one. Girth.
I say that word all the time because...
You do? Why?
Well, horses, their saddles have a girth, so...
Oh, that's
I'm constantly
true.
like, oh, the girth is slipping. Oh, the girth is dirty. Oh,
I forgot all about that.
What buckle are you putting your girth on today? She's so fat. I have to let the girth out a notch. I say it all the time.
So long since I was a teenage girl.
I'm not a teenage girl. Thank you very much. I'm going to be 40 in just like a few days practically.
Congratulations.
That's just the most horrible thing.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I've been looking ahead to 40 with this. I've been saying when I'm 40 for almost a whole year just to try to acclimate and get used to it so I don't have a panic attack when it actually happens. Like when people ask me how old I am, I just say I'm 40 because I want to sort of ease myself into it.
Yeah, but you're actually going to regret that because when you are 40, then you're going to say, dang it, why didn't I spend...
No, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop telling people how old I am there.
Listen to me.
That's it.
Because I went through this. I'm speaking from experience, like great maturity. So that 39th
yeah, you look
year,
really mature over there.
Well, if I could only go back and relive 39 and really just be 39... I tell you.
I already messed it up. It's too late now.
I just felt like I had to say I was 40 just so I'd be, well, it's like now. Okay, so now I'm 59.
No, and you're not.
Yes,
BS.
No, I am hanging on to 59. I'm not saying, I'm 60. I'm 60.
You're hanging on to 59?
Yeah.
Well,
because I learned.
You could easily hang on to like 29 and be okay. Like you should just tell people that. No one is going to even notice or know.
Yeah,
because you're lucky like that. I'm not going to be that lucky. Nope.
Well, I wanted to ask you this question that relates to luck. Okay, this is a very personal question. Okay. Do you think that you were born under a lucky star?
No.
Or an unlucky star?
Very unlucky.
You think unlucky? Okay, yeah. Can you explain that?
Well, I like to think I'm an optimist, but often I'm not. But I can't be. I can't be anymore. You can't be an optimist when like crummy things happen all the time. So you kind of start to expect them a little bit, and that turns you into pessimist.
Like the hay.
Oh my God, 3 tractors, every one of them broken. And like one tractor gets fixed. This guy rebuilt the entire carburetor. It still didn't work. So he loaned us his own carburetor out of his own tractor just so he could get our hay in. So we're frantically using our tractor with this borrowed carburetor while we're waiting for like another antique carburetor to come someday from the mail. And while we're haying, the clutch dies. So then it has to go away to the place, the tractor place where tractors go when they are dead. And then the next tractor doesn't work, and all the equipment does not attach to certain tractors, and
I'm glad that
everything's broken.
I'm glad that this week, since this is the 3rd week that we're talking about this, that you're really going into detail about what happened with the tractors, because
I can't even.
But it brings up a question that I have, and then
you have to be a millionaire to be a farmer.
Okay, we'll go back. We'll go back to your story. But does this guy, by any chance, does he also have a used transmission? Because I could use one.
Oh no! On what?
My Subaru, of course.
Oh, no.
Yeah, surprise.
Yeah,
right?
Our car, John's car, the transmission just died last week, too.
I broke down on it.
Which is why I'm driving the Subaru, which is my car anyway, but I often give it to John because he does a lot of the farm chores with it, and I take his car, but his car died.
Yeah.
This car is starting to act funny. The transmission also. Does it, like, rev suddenly way up?
No. It's got a bearing problem, I think, in the transmission.
Your car made a miraculous recovery from death, though, a while ago, and you just ignored the death, and then it kept driving.
Unfortunately, it has 9 lives, which means I've had to replace the transmission a number of times.
What? Who replaces the transmissions numbers of times?
I am going to have to.
Oh, my God. Did you do the head gasket already? Because that's what usually goes on Subarus.
I don't know. I don't even know what a head gasket is.
Does your car smell like sulfur when you drive it?
No, but I don't care.
No, you will care when it's dead.
I hate cars.
I hate cars too.
I really
hate cars.
Love hate. You know what love hate is? Yes, you do.
No, yes, I don't know.
You gotta have it, but you can't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know.
Can't live with it. Can't live without it.
Yes.
Sorry, I wanted to hear about the tractors.
No, I don't want to talk about the stupid tractors anymore.
Okay, unlucky star, lucky star.
I still think, although I've had some fabulous things happen to me in the last few years, generally I'm a weird exception to most. Like, if something's a rare thing that doesn't usually happen to somebody, it happens to me.
Okay, but tell me this.
What?
Since you have such an unlucky star, do you make lemonade out of the lemons?
I try to be kind of chipper about it. At least it's funny.
So many people like you anyway.
Stupid stuff. No.
You're popular, kind of.
No, I'm not.
Sort of.
No.
You're a little bit.
I'm not, actually. I'm too whiny and complainy, which I hate. I don't like to be a whiner or a complainer. Every time I hear myself complaining, I say, stop this. Nobody likes a Debbie Downer. Shut up.
Who do you complain to? Your kids?
I'm complaining right now, aren't I? To everyone who... Maybe
wait. What would Kendra call this whiny
Winerson?
Whiny Winerson.
I wonder if she made that up. She has a big family, so maybe someone else in her family made that up.
Yeah, that's one of those cool things about big families. They just know so much more about useless things. I love it. It's fun because it's what makes life fun. Yeah, it really makes life fun. So, okay.
How was last week's show?
Oh, last week's show was fun with Libby.
Who is Libby? I don't even know Libby.
Libby's an incredible musician who's sort of kind of a almost big time, in Vermont, like we said.
Like you.
Almost big time. Well, there's different kinds of big time, like depending on which circles you travel in with the whole music thing. But she's played at Kerrville and all this stuff. But
did you see the whammy bars for sale?
Yes, I did. I sent the link to Wilder. Maybe he'll buy it.
That would be cool, Kristina.
It would be great. I think he'd be a great general store owner. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. He didn't take the bait yet, but you never know. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, okay, so it was fun with Libby. She talks really slow, so it was very different than...
Oh, opposite of me.
And I kind of... It was interesting because it makes for a different kind of conversation, and then I felt like I was talking too fast, and I felt like I was saying too much, and I felt like I was a bulldozer running over her sometimes, so I tried to rein myself back when I noticed that happening. Isn't that weird?
It is. I'll have to listen to this podcast now.
Yeah, because you usually just bulldozer right over me.
That's what I do.
And I'm used to that. I like that. It just feels comfortable. It feels like everything is okay as long as Emily's just bulldozing.
Emily's just interrupting whatever you're saying.
I have to fight to say anything.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just untangling some things here.
Okay. I think it's time for a track of music.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That was fast.
Let's see what we can do.
I'll untangle this microphone while that happens.
All right. Unfortunately, my iPod is not queued up. Let's see. Let's try.
Is your iPod ever queued up?
Never.
Your iPod isn't...
It's a dumb thing, but I have to live with it. It's a love-hate. Hey, there we go. Love-hate. iPad.
Totes love-hate your
Totes,
iPad.
baby. Okay, let's see what we can...
Oh, now I made too much cord here.
He's a sensitive, new age redneck from the back hills of Vermont. He'll give you wild turkey whiskey or peppermint tea, whichever one that you want. He eats tofu burgers, he chews red men, and he spits in black and white. He gets his tarot cards read on the way to the bar every Friday night. He's got a naked woman stenciled on the front of his truck. He's got silver stud mud flaps. He's got crystals on the dashboard and feathers in his baseball hat. Oh, and he cries sometimes when he thinks about his mama singing Amazing Grace. All the boys down at the discount beverage knows he buys his catamount by the case. 'Cause he's a sensitive new age redneck from the back hills of Vermont. He'll give you wild turkey whiskey or peppermint tea, whichever one. Whichever one you want. He eats tofu burgers and he chews red man and he spits in black and white. He gets his tarot cards read on the way to the bar every Friday night. But now he swears he was Moses in a past life. He says it's the only thing it could be. 'Cause last year when he won up at the Johnson mud box, said it opened up just like the Red Sea. Oh, then he died, and he saw the great white light, and he could see himself lying down below. Oh, when he saw there was beer in a keg down in the cellar, said, I guess it just ain't my time to go. 'Cause he's a sensitive new age redneck from the back hills of Vermont. He'll give you wild turkey whiskey or peppermint tea, whichever one. Whichever one you want. He eats tofu burgers and he chews red man and he spits in black and white. He gets his tarot cards read on the way to the bar every Friday night.
I think that was Patrick playing the fiddle on that. Patrick Ross, maybe, from a long time ago. He must have been a teenager at the time. That was Sensitive New Age Redneck by Nick Coles over in Shelburne Orchard. Guy runs a great orchard.
Cool. I had to mow over some of my apple tree branches today. The apples are so heavy and prolific that some of my apple tree branches are kind of hanging on the ground, and I was swiftly mowing in the rain before I came here because we have a wedding tomorrow at our wedding venue, and I didn't have time to stop and like prop up all the apple branches, so I just mowed through them and flung little apples everywhere. Yep.
Yeah.
I had like half an hour to do it, and I was afraid the sky was gonna let loose, and I was gonna have time to do it tomorrow, and
and
I've got to work all day, so I
just have to tell you, I'm really it's heartwarming that you made it to the show. It really is, because you breeze in here like 3 minutes before the show.
I was afraid. I was screaming. I was like, I have to leave. John was up somewhere, and John has to open the museum for me on Fridays when I come here. And I was afraid he wasn't going to make it to the museum in time, and I wasn't going to make it here in time, and I couldn't find him. And I was like, "Where are you?" And he was like, "I'm here." But when you stand at our house and you yell that, and there's all the hills and the barns, I couldn't tell where his voice was coming from. So I was like, "Where's here?" And he's like, "Right here." And I was like, "I don't know where you're yelling from. I can't see you." And eventually, he came down from the barn where he was swiftly laying pea stone around the porta potty area.
You can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't.
No, your life.
It's
a picture.
So fascinating.
Of chaos.
The new hiding place for the portalettes.
I saw the portalette guy pulling out this morning in his pickup truck. He had one in the back. I bet he was coming to your place.
He had a blue one on the back and 2 gray ones on the...
Do you get to pick the color?
We always have the gray ones for weddings. They're a little more wedding-y.
Demure.
Yes. We don't do the blue portalettes. No.
Well, I'm glad I asked. Because
we just
so many
built
people...
a wall to hide the portalettes, so I don't suppose it matters what color they are anymore, but I still like them to be, wedding.
Yeah, I'm sure glad to understand that. Because...
Why don't they make actual wedding ones? That's what people use them for a lot.
I bet they do, but they don't have them
maybe
in Tunbridge because they probably cost a lot to buy.
Yeah.
The guy who has to buy it originally so he can rent it, it's too expensive.
You know how they have those competitions in other towns, and they have those stupid, like, moose or deer or cow sculptures that each area business paints?
Yeah.
And then they put them in their yard.
They're awful.
They are awful, but they should do that with porta potties. They should have each business paint a porta potty, custom paint it, and then put it out in their yard.
I don't think so.
Why?
No.
I'm
just
so
not.
sick of those.
Let's not do that.
Moose, cow.
No, pass. I'm going to pass.
I think it's a good idea myself.
All right, moving right along. So I got an email from one of my gardening clients the other day, and it turns out that her 5-year-old grandson has named one of the gardens that I tend. It's up on a hill. It's this big garden that has roses and little pathways and secret places, and so her grandson named it the Magic Hotel. Which I love.
That's cool.
And he's 5, so he doesn't know how to read. But there was a sign in the garage, and he wanted to take it and put it up in the garden, and so he did. And it's a no parking sign. It's very cool. So I got a good laugh out of that when I showed up for work.
My kids named one of our gardens, but they just named it the Secret Garden, so it's not as interesting as the Magic Hotel, I guess.
Yeah, right. Hey, I have a spelling challenge.
Oh, I hope it's not a xylophone, because I tried to write that on my list before.
Oh my gosh.
And I spelt it wrong.
Oh my gosh, are you psychic? It's so similar.
What?
It is so similar to xylophone.
You say xylophone, you don't say xylophone?
What?
I say xylophone.
Eggs? Eggs? Like eggs?
Well, it starts with X, so I say xylophone.
No.
You just say xylophone?
Emily, how?
Are you serious? I've been saying xylophone to people all these years, and it's not a word?
You are the weirdest person.
Are you kidding?
Okay, but you're going to love this spelling word. You're going to just
get out my juicy pen.
Get ready.
I hate these juicy pens. Who left this juicy pen here? It's like bleeds through to the next page, so waste 2 whole pages.
And bring your own frickin' pens.
No, I had one in my purse. It's gone now.
I had one put behind my ear under my baseball cap. It's not a baseball cap, it's a trucker's cap.
Give me your damn word.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Nyckelharpa.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, it's an instrument. That's why I thought you were psychic, because you had xylophone, which is very similar to nyckelharpa in a way.
I gotta write it a couple times.
In a kind of obscure...
This is my way of cheating. I write it 3 different ways and hope that each one of them might be the right way.
That's good. I'll give you a clue.
Say it again really slow.
Nyckelharpa. That's a clue. How I said it.
She said it German.
Sweden. Oops. That's a big clue. Swedish.
Nyckelharpa.
Okay. I don't think this is really going to help you to spell it, but it is related to a fiddle, this instrument. It's a Swedish kind of a fiddle. It's played with a bow. Did
Patrick bring one to your studio?
No, I had the pleasure of hosting one of Sweden's premier nyckelharpa players this week because my friend Sandy is his tour manager and agent, and she was coming up with him to bring him up to a show.
Wow.
In Barrie at the Heritage Festival. So his name is Peter Hedlund.
Is that this weekend?
Last weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, so he went up and played there, and they stayed at my house. So you got it? You got
I wrote it 4 different times, so maybe one is right, but I doubt any of them are right.
Okay, go.
Oh, now I don't know which one to read.
Do you need another clue just to get you going on the right?
How about you read it to me and I tell you if I'm wrong?
Okay, the first, it's NY.
Oh, totally wrong already. Every single one I had.
Okay, I'll just spell it because we don't have to go through all your wrong spellings.
I will write it down as you spell it.
Okay,
NY.
NYCKELHARPA. Nyckelharpa.
Well, I had the Y wrong and I had the EL wrong.
Well, now you can add that to xylophone in your...
I think I spelled xylophone wrong too,
in your favorite words
XYLO
for musicians.
Phone? Is it XYLO phone? Is that how you spell xylophone?
I'm moving on.
Xylophone. X.
I don't know.
Xylophone.
You're trying to make it right that you say.
So are you telling me that the X makes no sound? You say
it makes a Z sound.
You say xylophone?
Xylophone.
You don't say xylophone?
Xylophone.
Are you just messing with me right now? Because I have always said it.
Look,
this way.
Unless I'm wrong, which I could be, because it's been a long time since I was. No, but you learn this stuff in elementary school. You learn this stuff in about first grade.
When you read the ABC books to little kids, the X letter always is xylophone.
Yeah, I know it's dumb.
So I've been saying xylophone all these years.
Can you think of an X word that starts with X that actually sounds like X? No, you can't.
No. Well, I can't actually think of any other X words.
I would like to ask the question, why does this letter exist in the alphabet?
If it only has one word, if it's only the beginning of a xylophone.
X is abstract. It's like X means like in algebra.
You know what? Let's get rid of it. We got rid of Pluto as a planet, so why can't we get rid of the letter X?
You know, for once I agree with you, and I think I think X should just not be in the alphabet. I'm not saying get rid of it completely, because what it is it's when you can't write your signature, you put an X, or if you're doing algebra, you use an X.
Hold on though. It comes in other spots in words. Like extra and relax.
That's when it sounds like X, when it's not the first letter. When it's the first letter,
no,
it sounds
I just
like
mean
a Z.
we can't actually totally get rid of it.
Xenophobia.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't say xenophobia.
So X marks the spot. X marks the spot. It's its own word. It's its own thing. If it was just left alone, it would be fine. Let's leave it alone.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not touching it. It's poison.
All right. So.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm exhausted now.
Me too.
That
wow.
just took it out of me, but I do have some other interesting things to talk about. So I did have the car breakdown in West Hartford.
Oh yeah. You guys walk to a bar or something, didn't you?
No, I was on my way to a bar. Okay, but the noise started happening.
It had a noise.
It was having a noise, and it was getting kind of worse. And
a tire was going to fall off, or some other.
I don't know. I didn't know what kind of noise it was. It was just a noise that you don't like.
Okay.
And so I got to West Hartford, and I said, "Oh boy, if I'm going to stop, it would be better to stop here and break down than between here and White River Junction."
Yep.
You see the logic in that?
I do.
So I pulled into the library. Now, I want to see what you would have done, okay? I got out of the car. I say, okay, I'm not going to drive this anymore. I'm going to leave it for my guy to come tow. So what would you have done to facilitate that future occurrence? What would you have done?
I would call AAA.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Do you have AAA?
I don't think so.
Oh. You should maybe get it. With old cars, it's pretty cheap. And we use it 100 times a year. So it's worth it.
Oh, interesting. But I just wanted to get to the bar. I didn't want to hang around for AAA.
Oh, you just want to get the bar.
Well, here's what I did.
Get out my cell phone and call someone to take me to the bar.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Oh. See?
That's what I did.
We're so alike.
Yes,
it's
but
just spooky.
Okay, here's the question, though.
I don't really want to go to the bar.
All right.
Sorry. What?
I just want to show you how amazing my thought process was.
Okay.
Because I'm locking the car because I have stuff in the car, so I have to lock it. Now, how's the tow guy going to deal? So I took the key and I put it in the book deposit at the library.
What? That was not a good idea.
Why?
How's your tow guy going to get it out of the book deposit?
Because he's going to come when the library's open for business.
But the library doesn't know.
Yes, I called them the next morning and I talked to this really nice librarian. So if you ever want to get a book in West Hartford, it's a great place to go because
she found the key and
she
it was
had
okay?
just found it. She had just taken the books out of the book deposit. She found the key and the phone rang and it was me and we had this pleasant conversation.
That sounds very risky. That sounds like a very risky operation there.
I don't know, it worked.
What did you leave in the car that you didn't want stolen?
Some shovels.
Okay, well,
My favorite shovels. I don't know. I had my edger. I love my edger.
Well, the chances that someone who's breaking into your car is going to want an edger are quite slim.
Huh.
Yes. I mean, the people who break into your cars aren't really looking for garden tools. So they'll probably leave those be. They're kind of hard to lug away.
If somebody took my edger, I don't know what I'd do. It's got this nice wooden handle.
Yeah.
You know, that's...
you could have brought it to the bar with you.
Well, I could. I did make it to the bar.
Good.
And I saw this band that has a name that I can't even say on the air. Want me to say it?
If it's a band's name, that you have to be able to say it on air, don't you?
No, not this band. I'll tell you. I'll try to...
How do they play on the radio then? They probably don't yet.
Maybe they don't. So the name is Jack S-word. Jack?
I don't think that's technically a swear.
S-word. Yes, it is. S-word is. S-word is a swear.
I thought we kind of established that it's like a mild.
No, we didn't. You're thinking of something else like frickin' or friggin' or...
No, because we say S-word kickers all the time. We
say donkey.
Yeah, but if you add it quick to another word, I don't think it's...
Or if you put an E on the end, that wouldn't be a swear word, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm still not going to say it. I don't want to get anybody in trouble with the FCC. So anyway, the band was playing down at Skunk Hollow Cat Tavern, and
that's near where I grew up in Heartland.
That's so great. And you would have really enjoyed this because you know how small Skunk Hollow Tavern is. It's really small. It's like a living room, or a bedroom or something. And this band was the guitar player from Jackson Brown's band and the bass player and drummer from Elvis Costello's band. So it was a trio. Whoa. And they were just kicking it up.
That's cool.
It was great.
The train went by, I think, and you did not say
anything. That is the first time that ever. But I wanted to tell you that Libby last week, when the train came by, she was so into it with me, and she had an even more eloquent explanation of what goes on inside a human soul when the train whistle goes by. So you should listen to the episode.
I have to listen
just
to it.
For that. Just for that.
It won't be this weekend, so all I have to do is wedding portalet.
Okay, next week when you're relaxing, when you're sitting back with a big glass of orange juice or I don't know, what do you do for fun?
Fun.
Do you have fun ever?
You
have fun with your kids all the time.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lucky star right there to be able to have fun.
I know.
Some fun.
We do have some fun.
Yeah, I think by the time we get to the end of the show, we're going to disprove that you were born under an unlucky star.
I don't think it wasn't unlucky. It's just that Murphy's Law seems to factor really highly into my life. I think technically I had a little bit of a crummy start there into adulthood, and I think that technically
I like that. I like the way you put that.
I must be under a lucky star if I've gotten away from all that. Yes. I don't know.
I had a crummy start too.
It's hard becoming an adult. You don't know what you're doing yet. And then you find out that you never are going to know what you're doing. You think it's just going to come to you eventually, like, oh, I'm eventually going to be an adult and I'll know what I'm doing, and it doesn't happen.
Well, I think you don't solve the great mysteries of life necessarily, but you do.
No.
If you can get good at some
Get a little
things.
wiser.
Well, you can also get good at some stuff. Like you can keep doing something long enough until you get sort of good at it, and then that brings its own sense of enjoyment.
That's true.
Yeah, so that's what I try to do. I like that. I like doing things. You know, if you ask me what do I like?
I like doing things too. I like projects.
Yeah.
I like watching something go from start to finish and be a cool thing after a project. I always want to do a project.
Yeah, it has a start and it has an end. And that's nice because then you can look back and you can sort of...
You can tick it off. You can list your projects. You can... It's projects and OCD people are very friendly.
Yeah. 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 So yeah, it is time for another song.
I was trying to have my stomach go on air, but...
It's okay. It's like going to the doctor when they put the stethoscope on.
I know.
But it just doesn't...
I just missed it. It was a loud grumble.
Yeah. You know what? When we were at the thrift store...
Yeah.
Remember? Last time we were at the thrift store?
I guess, yeah.
And we were in the basement, and we were stuffing bags.
Yeah.
Well, I stuffed some curtains. There were some curtains.
Yeah.
And I got home, and there was just one. There must have been and the, what do you call it? What are those things that like balances or something? There was some fancy piece that went with the curtain, but there was only one. And I'd like to go back and see if we could find the other, because if it's in the basement in that box, nobody goes in that box ever.
No.
I think this was weeks ago, but I bet nobody's
gotten your other valance.
Yeah. So I want. Oh, you have to go to work.
I do today, but we can next Friday.
Yeah, I might just.
Or you can just go.
I might run down and check. I like the curtain. The curtain's excellent.
Could you duplicate it somehow?
No, I'm not that handy. No. Okay, next track of music. Let's see what we got here. I think it's Lizzie Mandel.
Nice.
Let's see. Here we go.
This old house still stands. This old house still stands. Yet I'll never know if I am home. This old house still stands. This old house still stands. Yet I'll never know if I am home. But I'll wait for you through the early hours of spring, and I'll know it's you by the way your love sings. This old love is gone. This old love is gone. Will I ever know if it was true? This old love is gone. This old love is gone. Will I ever know if it was you? I will wait for you, and I'll hold the key for a love we knew. It slips away like a dream, like a dream. I'll wait for you through the early hours of spring, and I'll know it's you by the way your love sings. I hear you're coming home. I hear you're coming home. Will these lonely nights ever end? I hear you're coming home. I hear you're coming home. All these lonely days have been my friend, and this house still stands. walls still wait for the solace of the sound that your love makes. This old house still stands, this old house still stands, yet I'll never know if I am home.
Yeah, Lizzie Mandel.
Phew.
What a talent that singer-songwriter is.
Totes.
But it's not about talent. You know, talent's overrated.
Well, you have to work really hard.
I'd rather have somebody who was kind-hearted than talented any day.
Me too. My favorite attributes in a human being, and kindness is the first. I'd rather people be kind than
Almost
smart,
anything.
or kind than successful, or kind than beautiful, or kind than
going
funny.
going back to Lizzie for 1 second, she is kind as well. So she's got it all.
There's not enough people who are just totally kind.
Yep. Hard to come by. Mm-hmm. Hard to come by. Like a banjo player.
Those aren't hard to come by.
Yes, they are.
No.
Oh, come on. A good banjo player?
Oh, good banjo player. I was going to say bad banjo players are everywhere. Sorry, I didn't say that.
Wait, what did you say? I missed that. Could you say that to my face?
No. I'm not saying you're a bad banjo player.
No, but
Do you even play?
I used to date a banjo player, so I just had to...
How did that work out?
Yeah. I mean, in the end, it didn't really pan out ultimately.
I kind of love banjos.
Banjos are, can be a kind of fantasy for a while. I mean, the fantasy can span decades, really.
What is it? What's a good descriptive word for that sound? I mean, really, it's not that much different than a guitar. It's just round.
Say the word banger.
Banger? It's like badger.
Banger. I had to put these tags
when
everybody came into the session, and I had taken masking tape and I had put the name of the instrument that was going with that microphone, and I put banger on the on the banjo. I couldn't write. Sorry, my mic was down a little bit. I couldn't write banjo. I had to write banger. So, but I did want to tell you about this new banjo player that I met. I'm supplanting the old with the new.
Okay.
So we're ditching the old banjo players that used to be so high on our list. And out they go. Sweep them out. But no, I'm not talking about Bo. I mean, Bo is in Alaska. So I wanted Bo to do this.
Alaska?
Yeah, he's got something going on up there musically.
Whoa.
But so he was going to come and play this thing with Patrick Ross, and he couldn't, and I'm on a deadline. So Patrick came up with a bunch of other names. Mm-hmm. And I contacted, 2 or 3, 4 banjo players, and nobody could do it. And then finally, the one person who said yes is this guy named Pappy. Heard of Pappy?
Like Big Pappy?
Heard of the band Cabinet?
Nope.
Really?
I'm not.
I just feel like everybody should have heard of that band.
I'm not really up on things.
Cabinet. Everybody go look for Cabinet.
Cabinet?
That's his band. It's a cool band.
Is it from here? Where's it from?
No, I think they're from Pennsylvania or somewhere, but it's kind of a bluegrass jam band with drums and bass. It's got a great sound. They've got YouTube videos. Anyway, Pappy came out, and Pappy's great.
Cool.
So I got me a new banjo player. Sorry, Bo. He'll be upset when he comes home. He missed out. Just because he's getting so big for his britches, that's what happens.
Alaska. I've never been to Alaska. Have you?
No, I'd like to. I genuinely would like to.
There's this really good movie called Alone in the Wilderness, and it's about this guy who just is sort of disillusioned with his life. So he takes just some tools and carves out his little life in Alaska, builds a cabin all by hand, and he films it. He films it every day, and he lives there for years.
I wonder how many people actually live out that dream, because he
lived there for years and years.
Yeah, it's a pretty common dream to just head out to Alaska and make a life as a hermit.
There's big mosquitoes, though, like big enough to carry a hermit away.
Yeah, that part would be tough.
Like eagles.
You'd have to figure that out somehow. how to deal with bugs that
They're
size.
the state bird, I think.
Yeah, I had a huge bug in my bathroom the other day that I couldn't believe. I think it was a June bug, right? Aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Aren't they
big,
like this
big
big
beetles? Yep.
Yeah. I looked at it. It shocked me. Honestly, I was shocked.
The bug. We have a cute little toad that comes out. It's not little. He's actually quite large. He spends his entire night, every night, up on our brick steps. So we always, when we come home at night, we have to be careful because I know that he's sitting there and we have to carefully kind of turn on the outside light and not step up on the stoop, without getting the light on so that we can see him and not step on him.
Wow.
And we have all kinds of protective measures just to save him from... The dog isn't going to hurt him, but she likes to pick up things and carry them around in her mouth, and I don't think he would like that. So we have like a little sap bucket blockade that we put around his nighttime area so the dog doesn't go over and pick him up.
Wow, that's great. I had a sad thing happen at a gardening job. I smushed a newt.
Oh, no.
That was horrible because the red Fs are my favorite.
Me too.
I know. What do you do? It's like there's that horrible feeling. First, you're in denial about it. You said, no, I didn't do that. I couldn't have done that, And then you realize that's just where you were stepping. Poor thing. He was sitting on a brick.
Oh,
yeah, I felt
getting
bad.
up the warmth, probably.
I know.
Our cat left us some lovely mouse entrails on the oriental carpet.
That happens
I think
all
John
the time at my
stepped in.
house. Do you want
Where
to?
the heck did those come from?
Do you want to heal your life?
Sure.
That's why I brought this book.
Speaking of heels, though, oh, nice. When you re-glued the heels and soles back on your Italian boots,
Yeah.
is it just plain? What brand of super glue did you use?
No, I didn't do it. They did it up at Boisvert.
I thought you super glued them back on.
Oh, maybe I did the second time. They did some kind of gluing job the first time.
All right,
and
well,
then
I just bought shoe goo, and I bought Gorilla Glue because I've got a Gorilla Glue. Sorry, shoe goo, Gorilla Glue. Because I've got some boot soles I need to repair.
Well, you know what happened to me the last time I tried to use super glue.
What?
I stuck my finger to the thing that I was gluing, and I could not separate myself from it at that point, like Midas touch.
There's an antidote. What is it? Is it rubbing alcohol?
Time.
So you just had to be glued to it for many days?
Yeah, and then I healed my life.
So tell me about this healing of your life.
Yeah, this is a personal growth segment. And I left it till last so we would have no time to talk about it because we don't really
want to grow.
We don't want to change.
No.
I don't want to change. Do you want to change?
No
I mean, I do want to change, but I don't. Love, hate.
Yeah.
It's that love-hate thing.
I'll change if it's super easy.
Well, this is a field guide, this book. This is a field guide. It's a guide to our common ailments and the possible meaning behind, like the belief system that contributes to the development of these certain physical ailments that we all suffer from.
Oh, it's a physically healing, not a mentally healing book?
Well, it's both. It's sort of body, mind. So you look up your ailment.
Who writes this?
It's
Louise L. Hay.
Yeah, and it's a little simplistic, but every once in a while I look in it and it has some helpful little gem for me to like, for example, I looked up the throat because, I'm always having throat issues. And so here's the belief that's behind having these throat issues. It says the inability to speak up for oneself, swallowed anger, stifled creativity, and refusal to change. So you get to sort of meditate.
This is way too much growing.
I know. But then they give you an affirmation that you can apply to try to uplift at least your mental state, which will then filter down to your emotional state, which will then filter down to your spiritual state. And then the whole thing will rise up.
Does she reference astrology in there?
No.
Okay, I was just checking.
No. Would I do that to you? Come on.
No.
I'm not going to smush together two different New Age things. You just no. We got to keep them separate. It's like food on your plate.
What does she say about skin? Can she make my pimples better?
It's like food on your plate.
I love food.
You have to keep it separate, right?
You do. You do not want
pimples. Do you want me to look up pimples?
Yes, please.
And then I'll tell you what my affirmation is.
Just adult acne.
I'll look up
in general.
acne.
I want that to
it's
stop.
probably under A for acne. I'm not going to look up P for pimples. Acne.
Yeah,
okay, blisters,
no one says pimples
backs,
anymore.
asthma, anorexia, abdominal cramps, acne. Not accepting the self, dislike the self. There you go. That's pretty simple. And now here's your affirmation. Ready?
Yes, please.
I am a divine expression of life. I love and accept myself.
Can't say that.
Oh, come on. They don't expect you to be able to say it now the first time. That's why you have to practice. That's what affirmations are about, practice. You look in the mirror, instead of saying Bloody Mary, you say,
I never did that because I was afraid it would work.
I am the divine expression of life. Okay, that's going to work better for you.
That's it. Wait, what was the second sentence? Oh, you already shut the book.
Yeah, I got to go on to mine. I don't really care about yours. Okay, so mine says, my affirmation is, it's okay to make noise, and I express myself freely and joyously, and I speak up for myself with ease. I express my creativity, and I am willing to change.
Wow. Did you try it yet?
I've been working on it all day.
You sound good.
Thanks. See it? Just a little practice in the car drive down.
This feels a little bit placebo-esque.
I knew you'd start to shoot it down.
No, I'm not shooting it down. I'm saying, like, of course, anything can get better with confidence, right?
Yeah, where does confidence come from? Tell me that.
I don't know.
I could use some. Could we buy it at the store?
The book might be a fake it till you make it kind of thing. Like, just keep saying something
That's
until you
my
believe
approach.
it. But that's fine, right?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Fake it till you make it, man. That's my motto.
Fakey Fakerson.
Because it actually works. Fakey Fakerson. I love that so much. I'm going to kiss Kendra. She's just so smart. It's all this.
I haven't seen her or you for so long.
Yeah, because we didn't even talk about your vacation.
Oh, it was just vacation. It was nothing special.
Oh, it was just vacation.
And it wasn't even all vacation. It was, we built some stuff at the cabin. We built the kids a new bed because they're so big now. They used to share a bed, like a trundle, and now they're big and they fight and they kick. So we had to build them another bed so they could have separate sleeping spaces, which is a first. Totes, they're too big for one bed now.
I'm so glad.
So
that sounds fun.
I had a crazy allergic reaction, though. I got a sunburn for the first time ever. I wore a bikini on vacation because I thought, I don't give a crap. Nobody knows me here.
Right.
And so I didn't feel like I was going to be judged. And if I was, it was just by Canadians who don't really judge anyway. So I wore a bikini, and my belly hasn't seen like the light of day for 14 years. So I got a bad sunburn on my belly. And then I was building this bed for my kids, and the bed raises and lowers on a pulley system so it can lower over the stairway. And if it didn't raise up, you'd whack your head on it.
Okay.
So anyway, I had this sisal rope that I was attaching to make it go up, like fibrous, kind of like sailing rope.
New word.
And I went, and I was doing this in my underpants because it was hot in the cabin. And then I went to get some aloe cream to rub on my sunburned belly, and I still had, I guess, some sisal fibers in my on my hands. So I mixed sisal and aloe on my belly, and when the sisal touched my sunburn, I blew up like a balloon.
Wow.
I was freaking out. It was burning, stinging, stabbing pain, and I was screaming, and I was ready for them, my husband and kids, to take me to the hospital. And my son ran to get an EpiPen in case I needed to be stabbed. And then I was freaking out because I thought he was going to stab himself because he was brandishing it. And anyway.
Was it aloe? You should use aloe gel, which is the straight stuff.
Just whatever cream I had there.
Yeah, but
I had dirty hands with the sisal fiber.
I understand. But I think it'd be less problematic with fewer ingredients.
Probably.
So go for the gel next time. And we're out of time.
We are. But we're going to be back next Friday.
Yeah.
Forevermore, all the Fridays.
Thanks for listening. We're just had a great time, and we hope you had a great time.
Totes.
And we're all going to have a great time next week.
Yeah, have an awesome weekend, you guys.
Yeah, take care.
Bye.